Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, creatures of all ages, welcome back to the Civilian Armory. We'll start this one off with an apology. Man, guys, I'm sorry I don't upload videos more regularly, right? At set intervals or something, once a week or whatever. Like your bigger, more well-known YouTube channels do. Right? I'm just a regular guy. I don't do this for a living. I don't get any money from this. Matter of fact, these videos just started out because I was trying to help my boss know the difference in some flashlights. And that's why I started making the videos, because it was just easier to upload them to YouTube than it was to text them to him, right? And there's just not always the video that you want someone to see to really help and explain the difference to somebody, or explain something to someone. So that's kind of what got me into making videos. I'd like to make more videos about more stuff. I have tons of stuff that I, in my mind, would want to make videos about. Everything from freaking tactical boots to how-to videos, this and that and the other. Tactical pants, guns, gear, pieces of kit, plate carriers, armor, mag pouches, rifle slings, holsters, flashlights, red dots, scopes, gun parts. There's a ton of stuff I'd like to make videos about that I have not yet. I probably will eventually. I may end up getting the time to do that if things keep going like they're going. Obviously, if you're watching this video at a relatively soon point after I posted it, the coronavirus stuff is still going on, so it's a thing, right? No matter what you believe, we can all agree that it's a thing, right? It's affecting us, no matter what you believe about what's going on or what's not going on or whatever. So either how, I hope all of you are happy and healthy and safe. I am happy and healthy and safe myself, or as happy and healthy and safe as I've ever been, I guess. So yeah, I'm going to try to get more videos put out more frequently. Yeah, so that's the apology part of this. I'll stop doing that part right now. So today's video is about the Vortex Razor AMG UH-1 holographic weapon sight. This thing is pretty cool, and I'm not one of those unboxing guys, right? I've never understood that either. You get guys who unbox something and do a video about it as they're unboxing it. And I don't get that, because when you're unboxing something that you just got in, unless you have a bunch of them you've already been playing with, when you're unboxing something, you don't know anything about it, right? The only thing you know about it at that point is whether or not the packaging was any good, which is not indicative of whether the product is any good, and whether or not it turned on or functioned right out of the box, which everything should function right out of the box unless you're buying Chinesium stuff. So either how, I have 7,000 rounds, 3.5 years, and around 250 hours of classes. No, that's not right. Probably 200 rounds of classes on this optic, this one. I don't have more than one, I have this one. I paid for this optic with my money. This video is not sponsored. I don't make any money off the video. I don't get any free stuff from anybody, and that's fine. So it's a holographic weapon sight. So some of you guys might be familiar with a red dot sight. You understand how a red dot sight works. This is very similar, but it's not, right? A holographic sight actually has a microprocessor. So this is just like an EOTech, kind of. It's like an EOTech, but different. It's made by a different company. So they have a microprocessor inside that projects the reticle and uses a series of mirrors and so on and so forth. And that microprocessor eats up a ton of battery life. So all holographic weapon sights have not great battery life. You get around 650 hours of battery life on average, dependent upon, what brightness settings you run and so on and so forth, out of this holographic weapon sight. I think that's a little better than some of the EOTechs have done, but it's nowhere near like a red dot. There are some red dots that are getting 55, 60,000 hours of battery life. Some of your aim points, so on and so forth, right? They get, crazy long battery life, and it's just due to the nature of how the image is projected inside the optic. So then the question becomes, well, if that's the case, why would you buy the optic that gets, by comparison, horrendously bad battery life? Well, I'll tell you why. I have astigmatism. So traditional red dot optics are real fuzzy when I look at them. And even if I'm trying to look, past them and focus my eye on the target, they're fuzzy. If I'm focusing my eye on the dot, it's fuzzy. Just a thing. Holographic weapon sights, if you've ever looked through one, if you look at the reticle, they look grainy. They look real weird. But when you focus at something in the distance and just lay the reticle over your target, they don't appear grainy, at least not to most people. Everyone's eyes are different. I'm considering getting my astigmatism either fixed surgically or maybe getting glasses to help me with that. I see fine. It's just that things that are a light look real starbursty to me. Either how. We're getting off on a tangent. This is about the optic. This optic has been an absolute tank, but there are some downsides to it, right? So I talked about some of the pros. Specifically for me, some of the pros are that I see it better than I can see a typical red dot. Some of the other pros are that this thing is an absolute freaking tank. You can see it's beat up. This thing has been dropped on asphalt several times. It's been dropped in the rocks several times, and it's never lost zero. It's never come loose. The mounting system on this is very good. It's a QD, a locking QD mounting system, so there's that little bit there. Try to get it in there. Yeah. So you've got to work that lock, and then you can throw the lever. And it's been absolutely bomb-proof. This thing is a tank. Those, in my opinion, are some of the pros. Also, they eliminate a lot of the tunnel vision kind of effect that you get with some smaller red dots, some of your aim point micros and stuff. You Hollow Suns, some of the Sig Romeos, you get kind of a tunnel vision because you're looking through a tube, right? So they eliminated that on this optic by making the objective window bigger than the ocular window, right? So when you look through it, you don't get near as much tunnel vision. You've got a great big viewing window. Some of the specs on this thing, it's heavy, right? This thing is 11.8 ounces according to Vortex. You've got 15 brightness settings, and it gets ridiculously bright. Even on the brightest, sunniest day when I was stomping through the mountains in southern Arizona, the highest, brightest setting was still brighter than I need it to be. They say that the very lowest brightness setting is compatible with night vision. I have not tried this under night vision. I just have some Gen 1 super not great night vision. I haven't tried it, couldn't tell you. But that is what Vortex has said. This is a near zero parallax sight. I don't have the time in this video to explain parallax to you, but holographic sights in their nature are near zero parallax. Most red dot sights are very, very, very low parallax, but holographic weapon sights are near zero. This will work with any of the magnifiers from Vortex or several other companies. You could run a magnifier from another company with it as well, but Vortex does make magnifiers if you wanted a flip to the side magnifier, 3x magnifier for it. Very, very fast to acquire a target with it. It's just been a freaking bomb-proof optic for me. I wouldn't hesitate to recommend this to anybody. I've recommended it to several people who have gone ahead and purchased it, and they've been real happy with it. The day that I walked into the store, I was ready to put an optic on a rifle that I was building, like 3.5 years ago. Walked into the store, I was going to buy an EOTech EXPS2-0, and I walked into the store and they had none. And that was at the time, they were kind of having some problem with EOTech, and they had just one of these, and I paid too much for it at the time. Compared to what they're going for now. You can pick these up now for around $350. I paid $4.99 for it plus tax back then, but it was like brand new back then. So another cool feature is if you use a rechargeable CR123 battery, you can actually recharge the battery while it's in the optic via USB plug right there. And you can leave this little cover open, you can lose this little cover, you can sell this little cover to your cousin Danny, and according to Vortex, the optic remains watertight. So that's a pretty cool feature. The elevation and windage adjustments are big flatheads. You can use a shell casing, you can use a flathead screwdriver, you can use a coin, you can use your teeth if you can get one in there, whatever you're into. They are half MOA graduations on the adjustments, so every click, and they are a click, right? Every click is 1/2 inch at 100 yards. So see if I can get you try to do this on camera. I can't see it. I don't know if you can hear that or not. I will check and see if you can hear that when I watch the video before I post it. To turn the optic off, you hit both buttons, and that turns the optic off. And yeah, that's a smudge. It's a smudge on the window. To turn the optic on, you hit any button. You can disable the auto off by, man, I don't remember how to do it now. I think you hold both buttons. Yeah, so that's how you do it. You hold the up button, I think. If I'm wrong, I'll put it in the comments. I'd have to look that up. To turn the auto off. I leave the auto off on. I let it power itself down after 13 hours. That doesn't bother me. Yeah. Any questions I can answer, put them in the comments, guys. Like I say, I apologize for not making videos more often than I do, but I'm a busy fella. So, my recommendation on the Vortex Razor AMG UH-1, yeah, absolutely. It's a freaking tank. It's got its downsides, right? Mainly just the weight, but it has been bomb-proof. It's always worked for me. Never had any problems with it. I've got, like I say, it's about 7,000 rounds on it, and I would recommend it to anybody, especially people who have a hard time seeing traditional red dots. Thanks, guys, and I will talk to you next time.